begin with another example. So suppose you still have 1,000 US dollars, right? You want to open a new savings account. And instead of Wells Fargo, suppose you find a super awesome bank. And this bank promises you a 3% annual interest rate, which is much higher than Wells Fargo, right? So again, since you're about to deposit 1,000 US dollar in a new savings account opened at the awesome bank, so your present value today, April 17th, 2020, right? Let me put in red. That will be 1,000 US dollar. That is your present value. So now the interest rate is 3%. That is annual interest rate. That means 3% per year. Much higher than the previous Wells Fargo example. And suppose you want to leave $1,000 there in your new savings account for how long? For 2 years. So the time length is 2 years. Okay, so question, what is the 2-year ahead future value of your 1,000 US dollars? Or AKA, what is the balance of your savings account at Awesome Bank on April 17th, the year 2022, right? And remember, what's the formula to calculate the future value? So 2 year, right? So now let me do it step by step. At the end of the first year, what is your future value, or AKA, what is your savings account balance? So at the end of the first year, the future value or your savings account balance will be $1,000, right? Multiplies 1 plus 3%, which is 1,000 US dollars multiplies, what is 3%? 0.03, right? So that means times 1.03. And what's the answer? Let me use a calculator. So that means at the end of the first year, you are going to have $1,030 in your savings account. So you have 1,000 US dollars you put in today, right? That's present value. In banking term, that's also called the principal. And how about the $30 extra? That is the interest rate you have earned at the end of the first year. This bank, this awesome bank, paid you, right? $30. So in total, your savings account balance at the end of the first year is $1,000, 1,030 US dollars. But since you intended to leave everything, or you don't feel like touching your savings account for 2 years, right? So this is only your account balance at the end of the first year. How about at the end of the second year? So remember, so at the very beginning of year 2, right? How much money left in your savings account here? This amount of money, right? So at the very beginning of the second year, you have $1,030 to begin with, right? Multiplies another year, since you want to roll over for another year. 1 plus 3%. And this is equal to what? $1,030 multiplies 1.03, which is $1,060.90. So here the question, the answer to this question, right? The 2 year ahead future value for 1,000 US dollars you have deposited today with a 3% annual interest rate will be $1,060.90. And if you look at this equation here, let me give an intermediate step. This is equal to what? $1,000, right? The present value multiplies 1 plus 3%. This is what you get from the first year, right? And since you roll over another year, multiplies another 1 plus 3%. again, if you are quick with math, you can tell 1 plus 3% times another 1 plus 3%. This is the square term. So I can rewrite this part as 1,000. This is your present value, right? Times parenthesis 1 plus 3%. Here, 3% is your interest rate. And this exponent 2 is year. How long, how many years you are going to put your money in a savings account, right? So that is why the formula for how to calculate the future value, which is equal to present value, multiplies parenthesis 1 plus annual interest rate, overall parenthesis raised to the power t, how long you're going to put your money here. Okay, look at this part. So new interest is paid on the interest rate you have earned at the end of the first year, right? So that means in year 2, some interest payment is made based on the interest you have earned in the previous year. So this process is called what? Compounding. That means interest paid on previously earned interest. This process is compounding. Mathematically, compounding refers to this process. 1 plus 3% multiplies another 1 plus 3%. Okay, so now let's do another example. Again, suppose you start with 1,000 US dollars, right? Suppose this time the interest rate is even better, 5%. You start with 1,000 US dollars, right? And you want to put your money in a savings account for how long? For 3 years. And my question, what is a 3-year ahead future value for $1,000 you have deposited today? So the 3-year ahead future value equals what? You have $1,000, right? Let's recycle this formula here. Future value equals present value multiplies parenthesis 1 plus what's the interest rate now? 5%. Right? Overall raised to the power t for how long? I want to put my money there for 3 years. So raised to the power 3. And this is equal to 1,000 US dollars multiplies what is 5%? 0.05, right? So 1 plus 0.05 is 1.05 raised to the power 3. Which is $1,000 multiplies 1.05 multiplies another 1.05 and then multiplies another 1.05. So what's the answer here? Let me use a calculator. So I wrote it to the penny. So the future value for 1,000 US dollars you put it in a bank with annual interest rate of 5%. The 3-year ahead future value is equal to $1,157.63. Here, this part is called what? Compounding. This process is called compounding. Okay, so far I have shown if you know present value, interest rate, and the year, right? How long you're going to put your money in a savings account, you can calculate the future value. But what if I give a different type of question? I want you to figure out present value given future value, interest rate, and time. So let's start with another example. Suppose this time you know future value. Suppose for some reason you wake up this morning, right? You just realize you opened a savings account 5 years ago, and you just check today's balance. You have $4,250 in a savings account, and you know this savings account pays 2% interest rate per year, and you just realize you opened this savings account 5 years ago. You opened a savings account 5 years ago with 2% annual interest rate. And today, you know the balance is $4,250, right? So notice here, this balance now, this is the future value because you opened this account 5 years ago. After 5 years, the account balance becomes $4,250, right? So in this case, this amount of money is the future value. And you know interest rate 2%. And you know you have left some amount of money for 5 years in this saving account, resulting in $4,250, right? So this question, how much money did you deposit in this saving account 5 years ago? So now this type of question, you know future value, you know interest rate, you know year. And this question essentially asks you to figure out what? The present value. That means the amount of money you have deposited in the savings account 5 years ago. So how to figure out this type of question? So we are going to play with this formula. We know future value equals the present value multiplies 1 plus interest rate overall raised to the power t, right? How long, how many years, right? So we can manipulate this formula. So for example, we can divide 1 plus I overall raised to t on both sides. Future value divided by this part. Right? What you can see here, this part, it cancels out, right? Because they are the same numerator denominator. Since they are identical, so the ratio becomes 1. So what do we have here? We have a present value equals what? Present value equals future value divided by 1 plus interest rate overall raised to the power t. Okay. So that means for this particular question here, the present value, how much money you have deposited in the savings account 5 years ago, right? Equals future value. We know future value here, $4,250 divided by, now here, 1 plus, what's the interest rate? 2%. And for how long? You have had this savings account for 5 years. So the time period 5 years ago, so raised to the power 5. Let me convert this into the exponent. So this is equal to if you are more comfortable with this symbol. So what is 1 plus 2%? 1.02, right? Raised to the power 5. And let me figure this out using my calculator. So the answer is $3,849.36. That means 5 years ago, in April 2015, right? You open a savings account at the bank and you have deposited $3,849.36 with 2% annual interest rate. So 5 years later, in April 2020, right? You check your bank account, the balance becomes $4,250. So this is an example. You know future value, you know interest rate, you know time, year, right? You can reverse this process to figure out present value.